Hello, you speakers. I'm Katza.
And I'm George.
And I'm Javier.
As English learners, we always struggle with self-confidence when it's time to speak English, right? But rest assured, there is a way to boost our confidence, right, guys?
Right.
Absolutely. So stay tuned, and we're going to be talking about that today. And I am glad to be here, guys.
All right. So stay tuned. Today, you're learning all about the You Speak formula to boost your confidence when speaking English. Okay, welcome to another episode of the You Speak English podcast. Thank you for hitting that play button and subscribing to our podcast channel. All right, guys, what is the best or worst trait you inherited from your parents?
Well, Katza, that's kind of a tricky question. It all depends if you mean traits, physically or personality wise.
Whichever you feel more comfortable sharing.
Okay, I'll mention a couple. If going, quality wise or personality, I would have to say that from my mom, I got honesty, compassion, empathy, and endurance. And from my dad, creativity, getting things done, and not procrastinating. Perhaps a little bossy at times too.
A little.
Just a little. Physically, I would have to say, I take more after my dad, especially in the hair and the general facial features and height.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know what? I did, I didn't get this from them because neither of them were shy. But when I was a kid, elementary school, basically, I was a shy kid.
Oh,
Yeah, I was a shy kid up until like high school. It's like when I woke up, right? Ta-da! So I changed. I started feeling more confident. Probably because I started, doing lots of sports most of my life. I did go to school. I wasn't a jockey, of course, but most of the time was playing baseball and swimming. So I made lots of friends, and that helped me get out from under. Right? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Well, in my case, I'm sure I got no traits, physical traits from my mother. My mother was a short, beautiful woman, petite, but very pretty. I'm sure I got all my physical traits from my dad, whom I didn't meet. I think we talked about it before. Nevertheless, I got a tattoo on my arm with all the beautiful moments we spent together. See, right? Nothing. See, we never met. I told you. But I think probably some of the qualities that she gave me was she had very strong values, and she adhered to them. She hated people that would rob from other people because we were poor, and people that steal from other people. She totally despised those kind of people.
Right.
She didn't mind other kind of people. But stealing, it was like at least other people have a job or something. She totally hated that. And she just was never ever absent from work. She went to work every single day of her life. I'm not kidding. So I'm the kind of person that doesn't give up. I might get sick, and unless I really really feel bad, I don't ever cancel.
I totally get
But
you.
she could dodge things with humor. She was a waitress, and she could dodge things very very nicely. And I think I have that trait. I can sometimes joke my way around things, and just a lot of times it helped me out in my early years teaching. In terms of, I was funny. I wasn't good at all, but I thought I was funny. So I even told my students, if we don't, at least we had fun. I'm not sure if you learned. Of course, you can't go on forever. So if you have a teacher now, he's funny, very funny. He's probably not that good. It's got to be a combination of both, like knowledge and funniness. But I do believe a teacher has to have that spark, that enjoyment of teaching.
Yes,
And I think
absolutely.
I have that from my mother.
Nice. Yeah. I think in my case, I actually didn't take after my parents in so many levels. I mean, I do have like a strong moral and strong values and high sense of a responsibility because both my parents were really hardworking. But actually, they were very, socially open, and they were a very, extrovert people. and opposed to that, as opposed to that, I used to be very, awkward, and I didn't like social interaction when I was a little kid.
Mm,
And
yeah.
this always was like a showstopper for me, because whenever it came to be in social situations, I was totally, I always felt awkward and not belonging anywhere.
Mm,
So, but in the end, I actually started, like you said, when you start growing up and then life gets complicated and starts
mm,
showing up with challenges. I learned to be the opposite. I'm not socially awkward anymore. This took me years and years and years of trying to feel more confident, and I actually wanted to talk about this topic today. Feeling more confident when you speak is not only because for me English is was like a refuge,
right.
because I don't feel like myself when I speak English, and this gave me lots of confidence. So I actually used it in my advantage, right? In I used it to become more confident. So yeah, um, I really wanted to share that as an English learner,
Mm.
I wasn't always confident to speak as I am confident now.
Oh no, we're gonna
Even less, recording a podcast or teaching or
by any means. I mean, when I first started teaching, I got a job because I needed a job. I
uh-huh.
was supposed to be a doctor and didn't get into college. But I was extremely shy teacher. I just, my how can I put it? Sometimes the funniest people you meet are pretty much the shyest people you know off
Hmm.
the stage. They're really not very sociable. But when we're in front of people, our way of hiding ourselves, it's kind of like being funny, and that's what happened to me in the classroom. I was nervous, and the way I could cope with it is just
Yeah.
try to joke about it.
Joke.
About it
Yeah,
exactly. But
exactly.
off the class, when students take you out for lunch, or when I have a get together, I was just very quiet. It's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it happens to you guys.
Yeah, it used to happen a lot. Also, the first time you ever meet a group, you're always feeling very, like shy a little bit, and you don't know how they're going to react. And you get to know people, and then you feel more comfortable, right? So, okay, besides the formula we're about to give you,
Uh-huh.
um, I'd really like to tell you that if you struggle to speak in public, for sure you will feel uncomfortable speaking in English, right?
Mhm.
For sure, if speaking in public is a struggle for you, speaking in English is going to be the exact same thing as well. So not to worry, you will overcome this in time if you get to practice our
Mhm.
formula, because we're going to give you so many tips and we're going to give you so much advice in this podcast to overcome your lack of confidence. All right. Okay.
Right.
Javier, ingredient number one, don't be afraid of making mistakes.
Yeah, I think I told you in another podcast that there came a time in my life when I wanted to really lose my accent and and just speak more fluently. So what I decided to do is I started speaking out of my cultural circle. In the United States, I had friends that were Mexican American, and we both spoke Spanish and English. And I realized that I had to stop speaking Spanish altogether if I wanted to get further in that aspect. So I started hanging out with some of the cool people that are white Americans, and most of them were either surfers or skaters. So I started skating myself. I got a skateboard, and one time I was talking with them, going back and forth, and I said something that I thought I was right, and I said, "Well, to skate, you need a flat surface, right?" And they said, "What?" And I said, "A surface, a flat surface." And they said, "You mean a surface?" Oh yeah, surface. That's what I meant. Yeah. So pretend like you didn't make a mistake. Pretend like, oh, that's what I meant, and keep going. But I just thought to myself, wait a minute. You have the word face, and if you add sur in front of it, it should be surface, right? No, it's
Mhm.
surface.
Yes.
So lesson learned.
Yes, listen and learn. Right. Okay. Okay. George, ingredient number two.
Yeah, Javier is dead on that, and taking up on what he's saying right now. Conversation is one of the best ways of improving your fluency and your confidence. All right, that's why joining a conversation club would be a great idea, especially if you join our conversation club.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so I'll start with this question: why do people want to learn a language?
That's a good
Isn't it
question.
mainly because they want to they want to they want to interact, they want to talk to other people in that language? I know I would. I'm trying to learn some phrases now and words in Dutch, and I don't really like the language, but I'm doing it because I just imagine myself being there one day in Amsterdam, for example, and being able to get talk to other people. And I know that I'm not in the environment here in Mexico, especially. So I would need to find somebody to practice with. And I'm going back to this as an example with English. So a conversation club could probably be the closest you can get to being in a real conversation, being abroad, where you can, where you talk to other people and you get to practice your English. And not only that, but you will learn from the instructor, which is a native speaker, which what Javier, going back to the conversation Javier was just saying about the surface and being corrected by somebody else who is a native speaker. And they told him, no, man, it's not surface, it's surface. And this can happen to all of us. Okay. And then another thing is, and I really urge you guys to join a conversation club, because when you start talking about other things in English and you forget that you're using English, or you're not so focused about the grammar, you start creating a different persona. You start creating a different personality in English at the point where you dare talk about things in English that you would probably normally not talk about in Spanish. And this is very common. Very common.
Yes.
You're very
totally.
common. Yeah. Why? Yeah. It's unbelievable.
It's a duality.
Yeah. And then the more you practice, the more you progress. Okay, especially in fluency. Also, you learn new vocabulary, you learn tips, and something super important: the cultural aspect. You cannot learn a language without the culture. You need to learn what is right and what is wrong in the language that you learn from that specific culture. We can learn. We can learn the words. We can learn them in the dictionary. We can learn phrases, but there are things that you can that are appropriate and not appropriate in when you're visiting either Canada or Europe or United States in this for this matter. So that's why joining conversation club would help you a lot to improve your confidence. Okay, so I always say that you got to practice it if you want to make any significant progress. And like Javier mentioned right now, don't be afraid. Being afraid is a big stopper, not only for learning a language or improving your fluency, but any other aspect in life. I know it's scary. It's very scary, but if we don't take that step, it's never going to happen.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
True.
Absolutely true. All right. So I'm going to share with you the last ingredient, which is very technical, but it actually worked wonders for me. So I wanted you to know. The third ingredient is listen and repeat. This is what I call listen and repeat. So pick a TV show or a movie you like, listen and repeat the dialogues. Try to learn your favorite characters' lines and try to interact. Speak the lines as you are watching the show or the movie, and just play along as if you were that character. It's fun. It will give you many phrases to converse with, plus better pronunciation, plus better intonation. And of course, with this technique, you will program your brain to hear you speak English, to identify yourself as an English speaker. Then it's basically, excuse me, basically what George was saying with conversation club is like you start creating a persona. And this practice, if you're still very shy, going to a conversation club, you can do it alone, which is always a plus. And one of the advantages right now is technology. I remember I used to rewind my VHS movies to practice my English when I was a teenager. And right now it's easier. It's a lot easier. So take this opportunity to identify yourself as a as an English speaker, and also this will provide you a connection to the language, because connecting to the language is also key to developing your confidence even further.
We used to do it as a game. Back in the HBO, used to have like three movies per month, and you just play the movie over and over again. Remember that? I think I saw Rocky 3 like 20 times. And
Yeah.
we would try to like say the line before the actor.
Uh-huh.
I pity the fool, and then the actor says, "I pity the fool."
A pitiful.
Yeah, who tries to take away what I might try to say in the same tone, the same
Yeah.
intonation, than the actor. And then I realized that I was memorizing dialogues. And believe it or
Yes.
not, memorizing a dialogue is very helpful when you're actually interacting with someone else.
It is. It is very helpful because you also may not understand the function or the use of English, but exactly, like you develop this sensitivity to
Right.
know exactly when to use it. So yeah, you will become a very, very confident speaker if you follow the USPK formula
Right.
to improve your confidence. All right, let's wrap things up, guys. This is it for today.
Oh, that was too fast. Oh my
That
god.
was
Yes, so fast.
I
I know. I know. So, any final words?
Well, yeah. Just remember, use it or lose it. So that means practice. Practice makes progress. Don't be afraid. Fear is one of our worst enemies, as well as laziness. Don't be lazy. Don't procrastinate. If you have the opportunity, do follow all these tips that we share with you today, if you really want to make any significant progress. Okay?
Right. Right.
Yeah, don't let it go. Some people learn something to put it into practice. You don't learn dancing and you never go to a party, right? You never learn how to fix cars and then never actually take on a car.
Right.
You want to like really carry out what you learn. Don't think of the English as something you just learn and you put in a drawer or you put in the
Right.
closet when you take it out when you need it. It's part of your life. It's part of what you are. And if it's not ongoing, it will stop becoming. It won't get
Yep.
better, and it'll just get worse.
Yeah, and stop telling yourself that you really suck at English, because then you will
Definitely.
believe it.
Your
You will
program,
believe it.
you will believe it. The mind's is strong. It's a
Yeah.
strong learning. You
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
like, I've never been good at this. Well, stop
don't put
thinking,
yourself down.
Exactly. I'll tell you, I was born in Mexico City, but I grew up in the States when I was a little kid. But nevertheless, yeah. It says like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I want to learn and I want to be part of this. And when I came back to Mexico, I kept on talking to my family who spoke English. And thank God I kept on practicing. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I might have forgotten most of it by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Very good. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This was it for today. Thank you to all of our audience out there. Remember to subscribe to our channel.
Mhm.
And if you like this podcast, please share it with all your friends and anyone you know and you think it might be helpful. And you can also visit our website, where you will find articles related to English practice and learning. All right. Until next time, it was great seeing you guys. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Till then.